And good morning, Chris Cordani, pinch hitting as we wake up and wake up everybody here. Tony Shaffer will hopefully be with us very soon. As you know, in the South, there's been a very serious situation as far as the weather is concerned. They're not quite as prepared as the rest of us for the weather when it comes to us up north. I remember the days when I used to go to school. And my district was always the one that when everybody else was canceled, we'd have that 1 hour or 2 hour delay. And that's because by the time I reached third grade, our superintendent for Middletown, New York in the Hudson Valley was from Buffalo. So Buffalo Bob Quartermatch, we used to call him, who was actually a pretty cool superintendent. So let's leave it there. However, we'd have like 10, we would like 5, 6, 7, 8 inches of snow, icy roads, and they would always make sure that we went to school. Now, I used to go to school at Fredonia, which was in Western New York, just under Buffalo. So we got the Erie storms. And yes, the snow would be shoveled out or plowed out in a matter of a couple of hours. They were actually great. However, it's tough in the southeast right now, in the deeper south. Let's pray for everybody who is suffering down there. Maybe have lost power, or are maybe have lost energy, or having trouble getting out of where they're supposed to be. These towns are crippled, so we're praying for all of them, and hopefully things will get a lot better when the temperature warms up. With me right now, of course, is cousin Vinny, who is joining us. Wake up, Patriots, and wake up, cousin Vinny.
Hey, good morning, Chris. How we doing today?
Pretty good. And I want to thank you. We have a very special guest coming later today, but let's hold it as a secret. If you're a movie fan and you like mafia movies, Vinny, Tony, and I have a great guest for you. So join us for this. However, Vinny, let's lead off here. I want to get the Patriots' opinions on this. Did you see the video of this woman, this chick priest or this chick minister from the Episcopalian Church? And again, I'm not going to
Oh
insult
my
anybody's
God.
religion, so we're not going to do that. I've seen people insult the Episcopalian Church. I don't do that. We have freedom of religion here. But this woman tried to lecture. She was lecturing Donald Trump, the administration, and J.D. Vance using a very important prayer breakfast or a prayer event to push her leftist agenda. You want to hear this, Vinny?
Yes, of
Go
course I
ahead.
do.
Our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families, some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meatpacking plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals.
Okay, here you go. This is incredibly racist of this woman. The Democrats are always what was it, the party of inclusivity, the party of sympathy, the party of loving everybody, the party of anti-racism. But of course, what does she talk about? The migrants. These are the people that wash our dishes. What kind of
I
people
can't,
are they?
I can't, and then to bring this up to the President of the United States, the second day in office, she just ruined her career. She's not going to be a priest anymore. I would never do that because he kept his composure. He stayed calm. He didn't say a word, and Vance didn't say nothing. But
Yeah, they
I
showed
give them
composure.
I give them a lot of credit.
What do you think about that, Patriots? Because I'm thinking Donald Trump, in the first term, he would be outside later on doing a press conference about this. Now he showed incredible restraint. This man's thinking, oh my God, they're going to be venting all week this week. Wait till I sign more executive orders stopping more of their liberal leftist globalist policies. So the more restrained. The more restrained Trump was pretty cool. He's like, yeah, all right, yap all you want, lady. but but think about that. All right, look. I want to be clear. I'm not in the business of bullying people. I'm not in the business of seeing it the gay high school student get picked on by other kids in high school, because nobody should get picked on and have to go through all that stuff. But
You're right. You're right.
there's a line, Vinny, between giving people respect and then forcing their agenda on us and giving them special rights.
Yes, you're right. Just like he signed the executive order for birthrights in the United States. Have you noticed all the people that are suing, going against the executive order? They're all Democrat states. The reason why is because those are potential voters. They come from other countries. They come here. They get an American Express black card. They get free hotels. They get free everything on taxpayers' money. And the American people get the golden shaft again. So I stand with Trump. It's the best thing. It's the best thing he ever did. Sign.
Let's hear more from this lady. She's not just lecturing Donald Trump and JD Vance. She's lecturing all of us. She's lecturing people with common sense. She's lecturing people who don't agree with her narrow worldview.
They may not be citizens or have the proper documentation, but the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals.
Well, what she's saying is let up.
Okay, so that's something important there. She's saying the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. That's fine. There's a whole hell of a lot that are. And when Donald Trump and Tom Homan are talking about getting rid of people so far in the beginning, get rid of the criminals first. Again, did you see the what was it? The quarterback, the Bengals quarterback. I forgot his first name. Burrow. His house was robbed by members of a Chilean gang. A bunch of illegals in here from a Chilean gang.
Yep. Yep. I saw that I saw that on the news. I'm sure he's not a happy camper about it either.
Well, look, again here, Trump is, these people are trying to lecture all of us. And by the way, did you see this woman? I wonder if she went out to play doubles tennis afterwards somewhere along.
Oh, God. That's funny. That's funny.
Vinny, Patriots, normally about 100 days from now, we'd be talking about all the things that Donald Trump has accomplished, or all the things that maybe some leftist has destroyed for the first 100 days. Donald Trump was busy. He hit the ground running. I want to know what all you think of some of the great executive orders first couple days. And Vinny, talk about the man. The man releases political prisoners. He destroys, or he just stops DEI. And he's really taking care of business as things start. What are your thoughts?
I think all the executive orders that he signed was the best thing he ever did for the American people. Plus, every time he signs an executive order, that's less taxes we have to pay as Americans. I mean, kind of ridiculous that like China, like he was talking about China, that China pays zero back on what they borrowed from the United States. Zero. But we kept, the Joe Biden administration just kept giving money. And look at North Carolina. Look at California. Look at Maui. They got nothing. They said they didn't have no money. Why? Because they gave all the money to the illegals. All the money to illegals. Then I saw a video where this illegal family went to a bodega with their card. They bought some food, which I understand, but they left the receipt. So when the guy picked up the receipt and he looked, there was a $13,000 balance on the card. A $13,000 a month. They were getting over $10,000 a month per family. They lied. They said it was $10,000. They were getting over $10,000 a month. And meanwhile, you, me, and every other American in the United States has to get up early in the morning, schlep all the way to the city, or schlep here for hours and hours, and schlep back to get a paycheck where they take half your money, and sometimes more than half. And these people get carte blanche. It's not right.
By the way, I do want to say, I want to shout out some of the Patriots here. And it's hard to read here for me. I'm just saying, Mani Nee. I hope I got that right. She did say, glad to hear Trump is going back to North Carolina. And I did want to mention that during the show a little bit later on, but let's get into that today. Donald Trump, in the middle of all this, in the middle of the storm, and considering that people in Asheville who are facing this right now and around Asheville are still, a lot of them still without their homes, still without being able to build back from that hurricane, thanks to mismanagement and all government blunders afterwards, and no help coming from the Biden administration. You, he's still going there to assess the situation and see what's going on. This is a hands-on guy. He's not He's not the same guy that Joe Biden or Barack Obama were, and even George W. Bush to a lot of extents. The protected guys, they're always behind some kind of protective wall. Donald Trump's rolling up his sleeves and getting out there. I don't like to cheerlead for one guy, but credit where credit's due.
Oh yeah, just like last night when he had the news brief thing on TV. I mean, come on, he's not even in office in 3 days, and already he just got over $500 billion for Stargate AI. I mean, over 500 billion. And he's reading off that other people are giving millions and billions of dollars to the United States, and that one guy said we're only doing this is because of President Trump. So that says a lot for a man that they have confidence to drop that kind of money. That's a lot of money, over $500 billion. That makes our lives a lot easier, where we don't have to pay more for this, pay more for that. It's just out of hand. You go shopping today, you spend $200-300. You come home with 2.5 bags of groceries. That's.
Yep, I remember the days when we actually could stretch out the dollar a little more. And I feel like one of those old guys who says, "Well, when I went to school, we used to walk back and forth in snow. It was a blizzard both ways. Yeah, uphill, by the way. And yeah, without boots, we couldn't afford boots. Heck, we couldn't even afford feet. We walked on stumps." There we go.
Yeah, those were the good old days.
But it's true. But the good old days weren't 50, 100 years ago. The good old days were 6 years ago. The 5 years ago. And that's the killer right there. There is one major expense that's going down, though. And I keep talking about this, and people don't realize there's a huge expense to this, the DEI industry. What Donald Trump did was with one of his executive orders, we talked about, he closed down DEI offices federally all over the place. And not only that, by the way, he let the workers out on paid leave, which is fair because you kind of have to. That not all of it's the workers' fault. People still need jobs. I get that, but the idea is he also put some parts of his administration on the lookout for any kind of disguised DEI initiatives being thrown around here, like something thrown in there where it just looks kind of nice and packaged up, but it's really another crap DEI program. These things are expensive. You're paying people six-figure salaries just to tell people to put a quota together.
I also like that he's having all the people that the federal that work from home. Well, their new job is going to be Border Patrol. That's their new job. And if you don't like it, take care. We don't, you can't stay home. Somebody was trying to get in touch with the the IRS. And they're staying on the phone and staying over an hour and a half.
Yes.
They were on the phone for over an hour and a half.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, see, there we go.
Yeah, it's crazy.
To be honest with you, that's government services in a nutshell. Anyway, that was before Trump, before Biden, everything else. It's always tough to get a hold of somebody. But the internal robbery service is always tough to deal with. Keep in mind, this is the same internal robbery service that Joe Biden and his minions decided to throw 87,000 extra agents into to go after the little guy. This is no joke. They're going after the little guy. That's what they do.
Yes, yeah, and a lot of people are still sleeping and still don't realize. All they keep hearing is that, oh, Trump is this, Trump is a criminal, Trump is this, Trump is. Listen, that's all BS. That's all BS. Because if he did do any of those things, he would have been arrested. He'd be in jail. And every time they try to get him, nothing sticks to him. So, to me, I don't care what anybody says about President Trump. I'm just ecstatic that he's back. That's all I could say.
Oh, here's the other thing, cousin Vinny. And again, I know you're all missing Tony here. We're trying to get word from Tony Shaffer. He's been in the middle of that winter here. He's saying he has some major power issues. And by the way, I'll see if I can show you all here. This is what it looks like from Tony's place. I guess you can't really see my phone or anything like that, but the snow is all over the place there. It's not fun. And you think about this. We go through a lot of this in upstate New York. Fact is, it's not easy when you're in the Southeast. They're not as equipped to handle snowstorms like this. So hopefully everything will be okay. And wishing Tony very well. He's trying to get in, and let's see what's going on. I'll communicate with him as we go along. Cousin Vinny's with us. We do have a special guest, and we're going to have a lot of fun with that today. But let's go back to DEI. I want to ask the Patriots here. This is the funny thing. Have you hear people complain about the high cost of tuition, the high cost of groceries, the high cost of other services? A lot of this is because the Biden administration made it fashionable to bring DEI into all of these companies, or else you get shamed, or else the media comes after you, that sort of thing. The idea is that these DEI branches had their leaders make six figures. They had a team, especially with these national companies. Think about that. Who pays for these major salaries? Who pays for this DEI industry types? And by the way, when it comes to college tuitions, who pays for the diversity departments? It's the students and the parents. This is where a lot of this money is coming from. You want to save money on tuition? You want to save money on all of this stuff? Cut out the DEI departments altogether, and you will see tuitions go down. Cut off these diploma mill DEI curricula like women's studies. And by the way, speaking of women's studies, Tony Shaffer is here right now with us. Welcome.
That's right.
Back, are you enjoying?
Hey, what's up, Tony?
I am all for women's studies. I study women every day.
That's true, but the fact is, I don't think you want to study women's studies.
They know who they are. Just saying. Just saying. So, yes, good morning, Vinny.
Good morning, Tony. Good morning, Tony.
Yes. We're having a snow day here in North Carolina. We've got about 6 inches here in a place which normally has no snow, just like New Orleans, which hasn't had snow since like the century before last. So much for global warming, right?
I was reading a foot of snow in some parts of Louisiana. And
look at Florida. Look at Florida, got snow.
Yeah, all you snowbirds that moved to Florida to escape the New York weather, well, welcome to it. We sent some down to you so you wouldn't miss it.
Yeah. So we've got literally all the eastern seaboard down through the Gulf of America, not the Gulf of Mexico, just saying. The Gulf of America got snow. Maybe that's what happened. You basically, by renaming the Gulf, we ended man-made warming, global warming, right? That's apparently what happened.
Yes.
That's true. We got that.
Obama said he'd stop the rising of the seas. Well, Donald Trump really did it. It wasn't Obama, it was Trump. Just saying,
I agree with that one.
Well, Tony, let's commence with the show. But we have a very special guest today. If you're a fan of the movie Goodfellas, you might remember this fellow, Christopher Cerrone. Welcome to the program. Thank you, Vinny, for introducing us, by the way.
You're welcome,
guys. And Vinny, thanks for mentioning that.
Good morning, Christopher.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
What a great day in America.
It is. It's a new day. The city on the hill.
New era.
The whole Reagan stuff. Yeah. So Vinny and Chris were just talking, Christopher, about DEI. DEI is like DIE, right?
It's expensive too.
You know what DEI is?
What's that?
It's a way for people who couldn't cut it normally to get hired.
Yes,
exactly.
That's all it is. It goes with participation trophies and all that nonsense.
So I have an idea. I'm going to launch it right here for Christopher and Vinny to know. Why don't we send the mafia out to make a better deal to all the DEI guys and gals?
We'll make him enough for cameras.
That's right, Chris. Right? We got the backing.
DEI is really one of the biggest problems with this country right now.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure you gentlemen get it too. I'm a bigot. I'm a racist, white
we all are.
supremacist, because I do not agree with DEI. When you fly, do you want your pilot to be a DEI hire, or do you just want the best damn pilot, period?
Well, let's put it this way: if there was a DEI hire instead of Captain Sullenberger, I think there would have been a real problem at the Hudson River a long
needs
time
to be
ago.
a pilot, a professional pilot who actually knows what the hell they're doing.
Exactly.
Yes.
I get into it all the time online and with people. I'm sure you gentlemen too, Vinny. I know you do.
Yes.
I always say, when you picked your primary care physician, when your husband had a heart attack, what cardiologist did you use? Was it based off race, sex, or color, or just the best person suited for the job? They never have a thing to say.
You're right. You're absolutely right on that.
Well, again,
You're absolutely right.
Well, so far Trump has fired. He fired the commandant of the Coast Guard, who was clearly a DEI hire. He's now suspended. He's suspended everybody in the federal government who was a DEI position. And I know in DOD they had officers set aside doing that nonsense. I mean, you had senior officers whose full-time job was to be racist. And let's be clear, DEI is racism. It's against the law. And that's the way they're presenting it. It's like it should never have happened. It should never have happened. We cannot
institutionalized
racism. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, by the way, Tony, I actually note that you're very modest. You went to the Pentagon recently, and you sent me this picture of Mark Milley, who was right in the Pentagon here. Mark Milley's picture from the Pentagon is sitting right here. Tony took a nice shot of it. Nice job.
Yeah. So there's a bit of a fallacy here. Let me correct this for the record. Mark Milley's portrait was indeed taken down, but it is in a place people can see it. It's right. If you guys know the Pentagon, there's a loading dock just on the northern side. So right at the loading dock, there's a dumpster. So Mark's picture is right next to the dumpster. So if people want to go see it, if they can get past the smell of 3-day-old roast beef, it's right next to it's next to the old roast beef. So people will enjoy it. It's kind of like smell-o-vision. It smells like Mark. That old roast beef and Mark comes together. I don't know how, but they've done that. It's like three-dimensional Mark Milley. It's amazing stuff. So
yep, and it's right here.
Talk about garbage.
Yes. So Christopher, so let's talk about this. So can you explain to me, was Mark Milley's white rage caused by DEI or hemorrhoids? Do you know?
For a guy that sat on his ass as much as he did, it could have been a little bit.
I think so. Both. I think that's it.
I honestly think, like, I don't know Milley. He really threw.
Oh, I know Milley.
Well, I'm sorry, dude. No, Trump did the right thing getting rid of that fool. Biden knew better than for pardoning him, because he knew Trump was going to go after his ass. That Afghanistan withdrawal was deplorable.
Well,
people need
we
to
still
be held
can't.
accountable for that.
So yeah, Christopher, DOD has other ways of getting at you. So just so you know, I've been on both sides of this. So one of the things is called administrative process. So basically, they can review your record administratively and decide that you did or did not do certain things. And they can administratively reduce you in rank. So just because he was pardoned doesn't mean he can't be kicked back down to, I don't know, captain.
Yeah, let's bust him down, corporal.
That would be what I would do.
Bust him down.
He'd be saying, yes, sir, to Klinger. There we go.
There you go. Mind you,
that's right.
Let's not forget, Klinger dressed like a woman to prove he was nuts.
Ah, good point. That's actually brilliant. Here's a funny thing about Klinger. By the way, did you know that when Klinger on MASH, he wore his dog tags? I heard this directly from Jamie Farr. He wore dog tags. They were really his when he served in Korea, but he served after the Korean War.
Yeah,
he served in Korea, but after the war, his dog tags were real. So they really
MASH was one of the best shows ever.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
a little preachy towards the second half of its run, but hey, it is what it is.
The first seasons were the best. The first seasons were the best.
Right. It's
the Henry Blake years.
Yeah, BB was better. It was during Burns was better, and after Burns was worse. That's how it works.
Yeah, I agree.
Tony, I wanted to say this for you, and I'm glad you're
Yeah.
here because let's give you a prime example of DEI. As
Yeah.
you know, the home state of Tim Walz, I keep doing that. Tim Walz.
Tim.
Is now his house is now controlled because of a slight technicality and some cheating by the Democrats. It's now controlled by Republicans, or at least temporarily. Well, there's a DEI voted hire or whatever. I don't know what the hell this is. This creature.
I saw this.
guess the pronouns are it what I guess. I don't know what this is.
10-minute
Trying to incite an angry mob to block Republicans from taking
I don't know what
taking
that
their
thing
rightful
is.
control of the House. Yeah. You want to hear it?
Yeah, let's hear a little bit.
Yeah, guys.
This is interesting.
Right? We will not comply! We will not comply! We will not comply! We will not comply!
Dude, you don't even need a bullhorn with that mouth.
No, I'm done with it! Shut your fucking mouth!
All right. I gotta stop with
This
the
is
cursing there.
bullshit. You do not.
Yeah, let a cursing there. But he's just really
So
going off.
Yeah, you'll stomp all over
Is
it.
that a
You'll
he?
do it. This is bullshit.
This is unhinged.
fat
This man
he.
is unhinged.
So,
God knows what
is
it
that
is.
Michael Moore? Is that Michael Moore?
I think he ate Michael Moore.
I think he did. Man, he's got 2 Michael Moores in him. So,
And we'll get Christopher
makes him
back. I think his camera went off.
wow. So, yeah, I saw this video yesterday because it was making the rounds, and this guy goes on for 10 minutes. 10 minutes of absolute insanity. So I don't understand how anybody who was a Democrat remains a Democrat, because these people are literally nuts.
Do you know what I noticed?
Yeah,
Sorry
what's
to
that?
interrupt. You know what I noticed?
No.
Whatever it is, it's not wearing a mask.
No.
And you know what? These are the people that should be required to wear masks.
Yeah,
Paper
I don't,
bags.
want, I don't want your woke virus.
It's true, Chris. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, well, we have brains, so it's not going to happen. It doesn't eat them that easily. We take real information, and that's the ivermectin to their woke virus, if you will.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's pretty awful.
I got a shot of Trump back in 2016, and I've been good ever since.
That was a good one, Chris. I like that one.
Definitely better
I
than
think
Nancy Pelosi's shots.
it's clear that these people are infected, and it's like Jim Jones. You know who Jim Jones was? Jonestown.
Sure.
I think these people are seeking. They want another Jim Jones. They want someone to give them Kool-Aid. I believe. What do you guys think?
Let them pick any flavor they want.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
How about Wokeberry?
Or fruity.
Berries taste like snowsberry. This is important to note. This man, Jim Jones, was befriended a lot of San Francisco and California socialists. He was really in with the far left and the Socialist Party right there. And this is because these are the kinds of people.
Well, there's a picture of he and
susceptible to
Hillary Clinton together.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's
and
a picture of he and Hillary together.
and you know the revered Harvey Milk, the whitewashed career of Harvey Milk. This man and Reverend Jones were intertwined politically quite well. They were pals, if you will. But this is one piece of proof that the far left, these are the kind of people who call us a cult, but they're the ones more susceptible to cult-like behavior, and they're calling us a cult because they're overlords. Their cult leaders are telling us to do that, despite the fact that the Trump administration, even in and of itself, has a full marketplace of ideas under it, from the moderate left to the right.
One
Well,
thing
let's
is
talk
a
about
cult.
that real quick. Yeah.
What we have is a movement. What we have is, mind you, I haven't seen, not even Reagan years did we see what we see with Trump. Okay?
No.
Everybody loved Reagan, but what we're seeing now with Trump is a legitimate movement. Mind you, it's overtaking the entire world. It's not just happening here in our country. Look at the effect our boy Trump is having around the world.
Let's talk about that a bit because let's talk about that. Over the last 2 days, he has signed over 200 executive orders, he has fired
80 something
a lot,
people.
not all, but he's going deeply into the Biden appointees. He's just doing it. And then by the way, I actually enjoy watching MSNBC because
Yeah.
they always used to complain about, oh, Trump's just talking about grievances. Everything they're talking about now is a grievance. There's nothing about news. It's all about Trump. And by the way, did you, Chris? We ran this the other day. They had the cold opening for Saturday Night Live where NBC made fun of MSNBC. That's
Which
how
is
bad
awesome.
it is.
Oh,
And they
so
were actually,
they were
yeah,
careful
which is
not to make fun of Joy Reid, though. Joy Reid made her look like the sensible one.
I don't know.
So,
She was pretty funny. So just
I
saying.
just what I want to know is when is Elon going to buy the View and cancel it?
yeah, it's not going to
Yeah.
happen. We need them around for a few laughs. The View is necessary. MSNBC is necessary to show the world how loony the far left is.
I'll give you that. I did
Right.
get a lot of satisfaction watching the View the day after the election. I won't
Ah,
lie.
yeah.
I have it DVR'd. If I'm ever feeling down or blue, I just pop that in.
So so this is a question for you guys and the folks in chat. Who is between Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg? Who is the most gassy of the two? Who is the bigger producer of noxious gas? Because there's rumors it's Whoopi. I think it's in the name, but I don't know because there's constant complaints about someone, like being, very full of what do they call them? Gases that block the sun. So are they a hazard to global warming by the fact they produce so much gas? I just, I'm curious about that.
Didn't they do a study on how much gas those two women produce, like the cows?
AOC warned us about cows. I guess we should take her
You got
seriously,
two of them right
at least
there.
on that. That's right.
If that was the beef
all kidding aside,
I'd be a vegan.
Behar, yeah. But all kidding aside, President Trump has put they are the View in their natural habitat. There. That's right.
I believe it's Sunny. Sunny's the one that produces the most crappy gas.
Yeah. Well, so I'm amazed the chickens can read legal notes. It's really interesting. It's a new phenomenon, I think. Maybe smarter than the average chicken. But all kidding aside, the left now has become completely, I think, I don't even know how to describe it because they are every day complaining about everything. And I think this is part of the strategy. Trump's doing so much so quickly that they don't know what to complain about. It's like they got all these zingers coming right at them and they don't know what to do. And I think it's great. And I think it's going to continue. I think someone said last night on one of the shows I was watching, Trump could get everything done in 3 months and just tell JD Vance, you take over. I'm gonna go on vacation. So
that would be nice.
Well, you know, everyone's been saying how the first time he came in, it was a big shock. And he didn't really know what was ahead of him.
Right.
He had to do a lot of learning on the job. This time around, all that shit's over. Everything was already planned before he even won the election. After Butler, PA, there was no question Trump was going to win.
Right.
After Butler,
well, that's the thing. So,
that's interesting.
He
because
said,
and they knew it too. Tony, you first. I just want to get into the semantics after that. But yeah, what were you saying?
Sure. No, I was going to say that Butler, PA, he said in his talk yesterday that God preserved him to save America. I believe that. I think most people do. It's like
right,
anybody,
like 5 centimeters.
A layman marksman could have made that shot.
Oh, here's the other thing about Butler, though.
Pitch proof. He should not be here.
Well, the thing about Butler,
except by the hand of Providence.
The thing about Butler, though, see, even an assassination would have handed the Republicans a win, and that would have given J.D. Vance 8 years. That would have been worse for the left. Thing is, though, the Democrats knew as soon as the attempt was made, as soon as it became big news, the fist pump picture, they knew that it was time to make a move and get that out of the news cycle as quick as they could. That's where that's where the mysterious Biden tweet where he steps down. And then the whole thing about bringing in Kamala Harris, that became the big news for the week. They were trying to get everybody to forget, not only trying to get everybody to forget about the Trump assassination attempt. There were a couple magazines that stopped putting the picture up there of the fist pump, and there was the mainstream media tried to create that iconic photo, that split photo with Harris's granddaughter, and then another photo of Harris on top speaking, making it look like a real photo, but it was doctored. They're trying to fake an iconic photo for her too, but that didn't work.
How about how when you try to put in Trump assassination on Google, it wouldn't come up?
I remember that. Yep,
Right.
Google
Yeah,
garbage
right.
on this too.
Hey,
Yes.
I got one for you guys.
Yeah.
You guys have iPhones?
No,
No.
Not an eye.
I'm a Pixel guy.
Okay, so does your Android, it has like autocorrect and all that, yes?
It does. It does.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go to text Vinny and just put the word president and then start writing, see what comes up. Put president and then put T, Obama, R, Biden, U, trumpet.
Yeah.
You can do it right now and you'll get every word but Trump.
Wow, that's crazy.
I kid you not.
It's still Orwellian. But speaking of that, so one of the things that Trump has said, he's going to restore free speech, which he is. Elon Musk is a great ally. But more importantly, Biden in his last week said he didn't understand why people were against fact checking, that we aren't adult enough to understand the truth. And not only that, the other thing that happened yesterday, they had that. Chris, do you have any footage of that bishop at the National Cathedral who went on the racist screed?
Yep, we
Did you know?
We had her on earlier.
Did you
today.
know the Democrats don't want Tom Homan to take the people who wash their toilets, wash dishes.
Isn't that
they do
racist?
basically,
Yep.
according to the left, they don't want their slaves removed. And I thought we fought a civil war to free slaves. Didn't we do that? I could swear we did that.
Only half the country did. Don't forget.
That's true.
Yeah,
Only
that's true.
the Republicans fought to end slavery.
That's right. That's right.
Don't forget the Republican Party was founded in 1854.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
To stop the expansion of slavery in border states.
Right.
The Kansas-Nebraska Act.
Right. So Vinny, do you think that the Democrats are ever going to give up their desire to have a slavery and a slave class? Do you think they're ever going to stop that?
Right. That's why that's how come they're making this big fuss about the birthright for people that come here, because those are potential voters for them.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason, and people are not understanding that. People are like, oh wow, that's wrong. They came here, they deserve a chance. Okay, yeah, you do deserve a chance if you come to the United States, but come the right way. Don't jump over a wall.
Legally.
And think, you know what I mean? That's not right.
Now
I don't believe in that.
Right.
Yeah, we did play this morning, but let's do it again because this is worth another listen.
Yeah.
And for those of you who weren't with us in the very beginning, Vinny and I had a little fun with this, but this is disgusting.
In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families.
No.
Some who fear for their lives.
By the way, is she going to play a game of tennis after this?
Can I make one quick statement?
Yeah, go ahead, Christopher. Yeah.
What does she mean there's trans kids in Republican, independent, I ain't never met a Republican trans kid.
Well, the point is...
No. We don't have that shit in our families. You know what happens? I come home, I tell, hey, Dad, I think I'm a girl. He said, oh, yes, son.
So one of my friends, or Chris's, we're all friends, is Cherie Curry. Cherie Curry from the Runaways has become a activist on our side, trying to stop children from going down that path. And this is the thing. And I've got her book. You can look over my shoulder. It's called Neon Angel.
I know you.
She, when she was a teen, she would dress up like David Bowie. She loved David Bowie. I got her a T-shirt a while back for her birthday, which had our friend Barry. What's his name? Barry does the photographs.
Barry Morgenstein. Barry Morgenstein.
Yeah. Barry did a photograph, and so I got her a T-shirt with David Bowie's likeness from Barry. But my point being is that had she been a kid today, the moment she started identifying and painting her face like David Bowie, they put her on chemicals and castrate her, make sure she couldn't go into puberty. It's
And
insane.
it's
She
all
said,
for political
she said
gain.
flat out,
But
and
wait,
she
but
said
wait,
flat out,
guys.
she's glad that she did. Yeah, because kids are confused in their teens.
Don't forget, the same people who said 18-year-olds could not understand their student loans will sit there and tell you a 7-year-old can make a decision about mutilation.
Exactly.
That's
It's
the
insane.
left.
It's
That's the
absolutely
left
insane.
for you.
Right, and
Yeah.
this woman used her pulpit for to try to lecture not just Donald Trump and JD Vance, but all Americans. She knew she was going to be on national television. She's telling
Oh, yeah.
you and me that we are stupid, we're morons, and we're mean to everybody, and we shouldn't act that way. By the way, she wound up making herself a fool and a long-lasting meme at this point. Again, thanks to Donald Trump's inauguration and election, DEI, political correctness, participation trophies, and all this other woke garbage is being restored to their rightful places as subjects of ridicule, and that's a good thing.
You look at all the corporations following suit. Target's getting, or not Target, but John Deere, all these big companies, Walgreens, Target, all these big companies are getting rid of their DEI program. They don't care about that score anymore.
It's true.
Well, I think the issue has to be now. I think she had to be removed. I think she should be fired just like anybody else, because, and I'm going to say this again, and I'll be as clear as I can. What she said is fundamentally anti-American, and it's racist. The moment you start saying that, oh my goodness, we don't want all these illegals moved because they do all these demeaning jobs, that's nonsense. The reason that people don't do those jobs, citizens, is because the cheap labor, unregulated labor coming in, lowers the price of labor. It lowers the price of what you can get as an American for a unit of work. These people are stupid, because the more they do this, the more they hurt blue collar workers and American citizens. Heck, I've cleaned toilets. I've done demeaning work. My son does. He's 18. He works as a dishwasher at a diner, and he does it because they pay him reasonably.
But this is not demeaning work
to do this stuff.
But it's not demeaning work. It's honest work, and it's good work.
Amen.
Yes,
There's no shame in any job, just shame in
exactly,
not having a job.
exactly.
Right. I remember when one of my first jobs. My first job was a paper boy. But my first job outside of delivering papers was at a Burger King. And believe me, cleaning those bathrooms was no picnic. I'll tell you that. And because the day shift never bothered, so we did the night. Us at the night shift had to do that. But that's another story for another day. The point is, now with this raised minimum wage, where a kid's going to get a job? You're not going to hire a high school kid for $15 an hour, $20 an hour in some places. It's not going to work.
Exactly.
So work ethic is dead. And these kids are watching television where these liberals who write these TV shows, and this is a whole part of this. They demean people who work like this. They make fun of the shoe salesman. They make fun of somebody who does what the immigrants are doing these days on this liberal elitist media garbage, and they just keep doing that, and it makes it keeps young people away from wanting to do honest work, and it makes them actually so stupid that they pull things like this. Now check this out. I had to do this in San Francisco. A bunch of whiny leftists got together during the inauguration and had to scream. Effective.
I love it. Cry louder.
So I think we ought to organize, or help the Democrats organize around shouting squads. I think, wouldn't that be a great sport for the Olympics? Like, who could shout the loudest, and send them over to Europe? I think the French and the Californians would be great at shouting. I think they could shout at each other. What do you think, Vinny? You think
I know a lot of people that are doing the shouting are all Democrats. They're always yelling and yelling,
They could, Chris, this is an idea. Maybe, there's a chances of avalanches in Switzerland. So why don't we send the California Democrats over so they can shout and make the avalanches happen in a controlled way? What do you think?
Would that be like a
We could turn
whitewash?
it into an enterprise. Yeah, exactly.
A booby prize.
It all works together. It's very organic.
I love
Special
it.
effects.
You know what it
Gavin,
is?
Gavin Newsom.
It'll create
and
a
plus-
nice top layer of shit soil.
That's right. Yeah, and
Good
look at
compost.
Gavin Newsom's hair. Gavin Newsom's hair would be shielding them. It's like this shield. It could,
All the pollutants in California are in Gavin's hair.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
I-
the leeches kind of sucked in there, and the woke mind virus just took it all over. That's it.
All I
Yeah,
know
it's
is if
destroyed.
that would have been a red state, Newsom would be gone, Bass would be gone, everybody would be gone.
No, Bass is in trouble, by the
Because
way.
Accountability.
So, well, let's talk about that for a second because we have a number of our close friends in California. They did not. Dean Cain, our friend
Yeah.
Dean, he'll be on the show soon. Lost his home, his parents' house that they built. It's gone. We'll have Dean on soon. Our friend Cherie came through okay. I think Susan Olson came through okay too, right,
Yes,
Chris?
yes, she came through
I think
okay.
Susan got
yeah.
evacuated. But the point being is that right now there's a great debate regarding who's to blame. Well, first off, if you have areas of tinder that you kind of know is there, and then you defund the fire marshals who are supposed to go out and remove it, I think government's responsible for the failure. Just saying. I mean, the Santa Ana winds. That's a constant. It's not global warming. It's nothing. It happens because of atmospheric conditions that has been happening since long before man showed up in California. So that's not the issue. But the issue is Bass cut the budget. The fire department screamed saying, "Hey, we don't have money for training or fire prevention." Gee, that's a clue, right? Fire prevention. I think that's kind of a primary goal.
Emergency preparedness
Yeah.
should be on page 1 of any administrator, any municipality leader's handbook.
So,
Right, but they don't-
For
they-
the record, and Chris, yesterday after the show, I had to go down. I'm a county commissioner, and I sat down because I'm now the county commissioner on our board for emergency response. So what I did is I had to go down and meet with the guy who runs emergency services, and for 2 hours and got briefed on what they're doing. And suffice to say, this county where I live is very well run. They've got their act together. But we talked about prevention. We talked about the funding for training. We're talking about training exercises. That's what good governance does.
Wait a
You
minute. I
don't
thought you guys-
actually divert money from training and put it in DEI programs to make sure you have the right balance of skin color and people who sleep with the same sex. I don't know how that makes people safer.
But there should be a lot of lesbians on the fire department just to make sure everything's okay. That's what you said. And if you're a heavier guy or you're a regular sized guy in the middle of a fire, well, you just shouldn't be there, according to the LA Fire Department, huh?
Do you think George Takei would make a good fireman? I'm just asking. I don't know if I.
Oh my! Well, he likes holding the hose. That'll be his job, holding the hose.
Heyo. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my.
But,
Oh, my.
and Karen Bass is already now. Things are being uncovered. This is what happens when you vote ideologues in. They're not leaders. They're good at pushing, and all they do is seek out a national or global social agenda. That doesn't work when it comes to running a city or even a state. You have to be prepared for these things, like you talked about. The other thing is now Karen Bass is being investigated, or at least things are being uncovered about some quid pro quo and other garbage here too. She is going to be revealed as so corrupt that people are going to forget about how bad Gavin Newsom's been as governor.
Right.
Well, that's what he wants.
I don't think
He
so.
wants all the pressure off him because he has visions for Washington. That fuck.
Yeah.
Excuse my mouth.
I just want
He
to see
wants to
Mary
be the-
Carey run again.
He wants to be the next Kamala Harris. I have no doubt that's his goal.
Oh no, I like what
I-
Trump said that if Kamala doesn't win, Chuck could still be the first female president.
That's true.
You're right about
Well,
that, Chris.
I think the same can be said of
Do you remember
Gavin.
that?
Did you know, Christopher, that he's hanging around Willie Brown? Just saying.
Well, all right. Well, there you go.
Hey,
Yeah.
it worked. You know what? I got
Mentorship.
nothing against Willie Brown. I got
No,
nothing
I don't either.
against.
I think he's a no. I think Trump
How
likes him
about the
too.
other guy, Montel?
Yeah, Montel. Well, Montel and I got into it on X, so I'm
Ooh.
done
No,
with
I
Montel.
mean because of Kamala.
Oh,
Camila.
well,
Kamala.
she infected
Isn't that how you
him
say
with
her
that
name?
woke.
Kamala.
She infected him with both the woke mind virus and something else, but we don't want to talk about that.
Oh, I bet.
So, but speaking of infection, I want to circle the square to infection. So, Vinny, I got to ask you a question. It's a tough question. I don't want to get you in trouble, but have you been successful in tracking down what lawn Anthony Fauci's hiding out on as a garden gnome? Because I think he's up there in one of those big houses. He's up there.
I'm
He's
not
hiding
sure
out
about
with
that
his little gnome hat.
I'm not sure, man.
I guess he can come
I'm
out of
not sure. I
hiding.
didn't look into that yet. But I sure will do my research to look into it.
Hey, if you find him, I know a couple people that would love to talk to him.
So I mean,
We make the phone
who,
call. Hey.
who accepts a pardon if they're not guilty? Right? Am I right? I mean, what?
You're right. You're right.
I would
Exactly.
say
You're
I
telling
don't
us
want
this for
it. I
4
don't need
years.
And
Yeah.
it's a Supreme Court precedent. 1915. It's Burdock versus United States. The idea
There you
is
go.
if you accept a pardon, that means you assume guilt, and that's the
Yep.
truth.
Hey,
Well, I guess-
did you see the post they put up where Barron shakes Biden's hand and whispers something to his ear? Did you see his face hit the floor?
Yeah.
You know
What
what
do
he
you think
said?
he said, Vinny? What did he
You
say,
know what he said?
Christopher?
I'm not sure, but I wish I
I'm gonna
knew.
fuck Hunter up.
I think it's we're buying you an ice cream truck for retirement.
I
Like,
think.
All I know is
You know what I think he said? I think he said you're fired. I think he said that. I do.
Let me tell
I
you.
do. I think he
Let's
did.
be honest though. At 18 years old, that kid Bear's got more balls than anyone on the left. He
Oh, yeah.
leaned into the ex-president of the United States. I'm sure there was a little FU behind what he said, if you know what I mean. I
Yeah,
don't think he was being courteous. Have a
But
good
that-
day, Joe.
but,
And then
but,
the look back after he whispered was gangster.
yeah, but Barron
Yeah.
is so smart. They say he's smarter than Albert Einstein. That kid,
Look,
and he's a grandmaster in chess.
we are watching a real political American dynasty.
All right,
There
I
are
actually
4
found it,
Trumps that could
gentlemen.
be-
I found it. I found it.
4
I had to
Trumps
write it-
could be president.
I had to write it down. I found out what the guy said. What Barron said when he leaned into Joe Biden. He whispered in his ear, "I dare you to sniff my hair."
I love it. I love it.
That's
Sniff
the news
this.
flash. Tony, before we go, should we close out with probably the dumbest person in Congress? And we all know who that is, obviously. That's only because Cory Bush is out.
I don't know.
Oh God.
There she is.
Oh, God.
Oh,
All right, she has melted down. She's been on the meltdown since November, but it's getting worse every day.
Oh my God.
Check this out.
You're gonna do a Sig Hail. You're gonna do a
Is that
Sig Hail. Sig. Like Sig.
Hail
Is it?
Hitler, or their rebrand a Roman salute from behind the presidential seal of the United States of America.
Oh, she's tough on Twitter.
Oh my
It's
God.
on. It's on.
It's on. Oh
On
my
what?
God. You know what?
Oh.
She's going to be served. That's what I'm going to say. It's on.
You know, I feel, Joe Biden should have pardoned her for being stupid. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, oh man.
There
If
is
someone
no
deserved a
excuse for her.
pardon, it's her. It's like, oh my God, this person, this is, and by the way, there's a picture of her doing the salute as well. Did you know
Yep.
that? It's out there.
There is one floating around there. I got something here,
There's one of everybody doing it.
and I have
But
that.
it might not have been. I mean, Elon should have been smart enough to realize the left is going to take it as something else. But that being said, it was the Roman salute. It was the only thing he had his hand open. It should have been closed. That was
exactly.
his mistake. He
Well,
started
that's true.
this
Yeah.
way, and he should have started this way. He went like that. But he should have had his fist closed and then out.
Yes.
Either way, does it matter at this point? The man just put an arm motion to the crowd.
There
You
they
can
all are.
stop
Yeah.
You can
Yeah,
stop
no,
action
yeah.
any of this stuff and show half the politicians in the world doing this. And it's
It's-
ridiculous. And the OK symbol thing, I'm tired of that already. You always try the left tried to accuse minority members of Trump's cabinet or Trump's
Byron
circle.
Donaldson from
Right.
Florida
It's
is a white
a bunch of bull.
supremacist.
Right. It's a bunch of bull. All they do. This is we can make the same argument, but you know why we don't? Because we're adults. That's why.
Right. We don't care about the bullshit. We care about the facts, the real issues.
Yeah.
We don't try to win our case by injecting garbage or insinuating you're a racist.
You're
or
right,
a
Chris,
Nazi
you're right.
Because we don't see eye to eye.
And-
Yes.
and-
Oh, they
Absolutely.
always call you names. They always
Oh,
call
I'm
the
a
other
bigot.
side
I'm a
names.
white supremacist.
Yeah.
I know you guys are all white supremacist bigots too.
Apparently, I've been
Yeah,
told.
I'm-
yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's it. If the media says that about us, I guess that's what we are. We're
But then
hate.
again,
No,
don't
this is
forget,
hate
we
radio.
also voted for a felon.
Hey, you know what? These are all trumped up charges. I'd rather take the felon. I'd rather take the trumped up felon than the treasonous idiot or the
Amen.
cackling fool or somebody like that. Again, these liberals. And you guys voted for a felon. Well, doesn't that say a little bit more about the opponent?
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, I never thought about it that way, Chris, but that's a great point. The fact that we chose a felon, a bona fide felon, over that, whatever that was, Kamala. I love if Kamala's too hard to pronounce. How about Madam President? My ass.
Yeah. Well, guess what? She
Kamala.
might be a madam sometime soon, but certainly not president.
No,
Well, that's a good point.
she's my Uber
Heidi
driver.
Fleiss. You know, she can go to the Heidi Fleiss School of Finishing for LA. I think that'd be a
Very
good job
good.
for her, you know. Heidi Fleiss is around. You know, Chris, you think we
yeah.
could reach out to Heidi and ask her if she's going to train Kamala? Kamala
That's
Mala
not
Ding
a bad
Dong?
idea. Well, I could deal with that. Well, no, I was thinking when I think of Madam and
Humble
far as,
toast.
when I think of Madam and Kamala Harris, if you remember, I guess I'm trying to think of this is back in the 1970s.
Madam
and
Butterfly.
80s. No, I was
Madam
actually thinking
Butterfly.
of Madam, the old puppet from Wayland
my
Powers'
God.
ventriloquist dummy. I used to love Madam's place on.
I used to have nightmares about that puppet.
Well, that's
I
Kamala
remember
Harris
these
in a
ones.
few years.
Well, Kamala is a puppet, so that
So is
does
Joe.
kind of fit the mold. Yeah.
Exactly.
Did you see? By the way, not that I should make fun of this because we're all getting old, but did you see that she's got chicken skin? Kamala's got chicken skin down here. It's like the whole face is good. Like she must have the Joe Biden super glue mask. Like you take some super glue and gather it on, and you keep it real tight. But she seems to be sick all the time, so it's all kind of chickeny. You know, chicken skin. So you know,
Oh, God. That's
it's
funny.
horrible.
That's definitely funny.
So anyway, but so Christopher, and to both of you, there she is. There she is. There she was. So
There she-
all
Miss
right. So
California.
we're almost out of time, but I'm going to ask you both one question. First to Christopher, what is Joe Biden going to do in retirement?
Well, you can ask him because he retired about 4 years ago, really.
That's
So
true.
he's been
That's
retired.
true.
I would say he's going to be at the beach.
It's true.
2 double scoops of chocolate chip ice cream. Maybe Commander will get some dog obedient lessons and stop biting Secret Service.
Yeah.
I think Jill Biden's going to, with him, they're going to make a coloring book.
Yeah. Do you, well,
All the rainbow.
so do you think they took when Roy Rogers, he had a horse named Trigger.
Yep.
Do you think they should just take Joe and stuff him and put him in a museum? I think that would be a
No.
good.
I don't want to see that man for the rest of my life.
Yeah, that's a good point. He'd scare kids. That would
He
be
would.
terrible.
He-
Yeah.
All right.
No.
I know exactly what Biden's going to do in retirement. He is going to buy his own windowless white van, serve ice cream out of it, and drive around to playgrounds and start sniffing some hair.
Oh
No, I
my
think Jill's going to have to drive him, right, Vinny? Jill
I-
can't drive.
Yeah,
Jill-
I
Jill's the
think
driver.
Trump has a special vacation for him soon.
I
That's
don't
what I
know
think.
because nope,
And the
Joe
rest of
Biden.
them.
Joe Biden's going to
That's what I
insist he's going to
think.
drive. He's going to be like, I'm going to drive. Joe's not going to drive me. You don't like the way I drive? Stay off the sidewalk. There we go.
He's been on more
Well-
sidewalks than you guys been alive. God damn it!
That's true. Well, I think it's sad that the last politician who personally knew Andy Jackson, the last person who knew him is Joe Biden. Joe Biden's the last guy who actually was served with Andrew Jackson. So that's sad that we're going to lose that legacy.
That's how he got so good with funneling money.
That's true. That's true. Very, very shady, very shaky. But I guess that's speaking of shaky. We got to go, Chris. It's been an hour.
I know, and we're in overtime again. I feel like a bad
Overtime.
NBA game.
Yes. So I've got to go out literally, and I've got 6 inches of snow. I got to figure out what to do with right now. So
Yeah, you got a shovel there somewhere?
I do. No, we prepared. We actually did prepare. We actually have 2 snow shovels and some ice melt.
Oh, you're not going to blame Trump, I guess, huh?
No. So just for the audience to understand, and we have Jerry Corsi. When's Jerry back on the show? So
we'll get him.
I have the book available. So let me remind people, for better or for worse, you can look it up. I'm an accredited academic expert on climate change. I've got a degree in it.
Right.
Man-made climate change is a fiction. We're halfway through a 11,000 year cycle. We're about 5,000 to 6,000 years in. This is the top point of heating, of warming. We're done. Now we're going to be, for the next 3,000 years,
cooling down,
declining slowly, cooling down. And 3,000 years from now, I know you're going to be waiting with bated breath. The glaciers are going to start marching their way down from the North Pole, just like they did 6,000 years ago. And there's nothing we can do about it because we don't control climate. Man is not, and think about this, Christopher. This whole thing of CO2, Los Angeles burning has put more CO2 into the atmosphere in 2 weeks than mankind is supposed to do in a year. And it's not going to have any effect.
And not to mention everything that burned, all those carcinogens and everything. Now, mind you, that's not going to leave for decades. It's going to get in the soil. Right. It's going to be in the water.
In the soil.
It's going to be in the atmosphere. And they thought,
you're right.
Mind you, bring back the fire breaks. Bring the fire breaks back.
That's right.
Huge.
So
you got to.
Yes, exactly.
Control burns. Sorry, it's got to happen. And I'm sorry.
That's right.
Who cares about that damn smelt?
And by the way,
I'm with
before
you.
we go,
bring the water to people. The highest taxed people in our country lost everything because of a fish.
Yep.
That's
and
true.
then my buddy
Smelt
Chris.
fish. The smelt.
It's
By the way,
Chris.
who's this handsome guy, Christopher?
Hey.
Who's this handsome guy?
Hey, Christopher.
Hey, Mom, how you like me?
He was
Great
my
movie,
buddy.
great movie,
That's
great
my
movie.
buddy Chris.
Yeah,
Take the cannoli, leave the gun.
There
Right?
you go.
I like it.
All right, guys. Hey, Christopher, thanks for being here. Cousin Vinny. Vinny, I love you. See you on Facebook. Chris, I'll see
Chris.
you on
Thank you,
Monday.
Tony, cousin Vinny.
I'll see you then.
Thank you.
Too,
We want you back. We want you to come back. People
I'm
love
always
you.
around.
We'll have
Chris,
fun again.
you got my info.
Yep, we're doing this. We're
Yeah.
talking. All right. And by the way, don't
Gentlemen,
forget
God
Trixie and
bless.
Deborah
God
on
you.
bless
Friday.
America.
Yes.
God bless
Well,
you.
anyway, so Chris, great. So Chris, what do we do on Monday? And Trixie, Frisky Friday with Trixie in the mix, and they're all going to be doing stuff Friday. But we're back Monday, right?
Right. And I'm working on a nice cunning plan for next week, and we're gonna work on all of that. So we got things going.
We hopefully have one of the Hollywood stars who lost their home. Just saying, because he said he could make it. So we'll see if he can.
Wheels are turning.
sure he
There we
makes
go. Wheels are in
Yeah,
motion.
wheels are turning.
Here we go. Okay.
We might have someone who's super qualified to talk about mankind. That's a hint.
Oh, can't
Right?
imagine who. Little DC.
We'll see. We're hoping because he said yes. So we'll, still got to get there. So anyway, all right, Patriots. Thank you for being here. Obviously,
bless,
we love you
guys.
guys. Christopher,
God bless
Vinny,
everybody.
Chris, we'll see you again soon. Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.